So here's a quick overview of what I'm looking for in terms of the proposal. You're writing a position paper that you're going to turn in at the end of the semester, and this is a research paper that will involve a number of stages. First stage of that is choosing a topic, and I'm more than happy to discuss that with you if you're trying to figure out what it is that you want to write about. But the first stage is to figure out exactly what aspect of the story that we're covering in this course you're going to focus on. The next stage is to try to hone what it is that you're going to argue in this paper in relation to that topic, because this paper is about making an argument and supporting it with evidence. So you not only need to get a sense of what it is that you want to write about, but what angle, what opinion, what interpretation you think you might argue. So the proposal is an exercise in trying to delineate that and focus that and try to determine if the argument that you are thinking might work for your paper is going to be something that will work, is something that is going to be containable within the size of the paper, something that is you're going to be able to support with the evidence from the ancient world that's available. And so what I'm looking for here is a simple one-page document that's essentially a single paragraph. And in fact, this is writing a first draft of the introduction to your paper. The introduction to your paper and the proposal both follow the same format, the same things that are included. A description of the topic itself, very briefly, an indication of what it is that the paper is about, the problem that is involved here, what question it is that might be argued, and then showing that there are two possible sides to this, because you can't have an argument in which one side is what is obviously accepted by all. There needs to be an opinion that someone can disagree with, and that is your thesis statement. A preliminary thesis statement is the most important aspect of your proposal, making a statement of opinion that someone could disagree with. And so these three things are elemental to your proposal. These three things give you a basis for how the next stage of your research project is going to proceed, finding your evidence and writing the paper and actually making your argument. The proposal is going to be a means by which I can respond to you, give you feedback, let you know this is a great idea, and here are some things that you might want to consider. This is something that's a little bit too large for a paper like this. Your thesis statement it can be a little bit more focused. Here's a particular aspect of that might particularly work. I'll also give you some indication of what kind of evidence you're going to need, both primary and secondary, to support the kind of arguments that you're making. So think about the topic that you have and try to put it in terms of a question, either a question that the people at the time in the ancient world would ask, or something that historians might argue about, different interpretations of why something happened, or what the consequences of it were, or what kind of influence might be involved. Something that could be argued and debated and then take a side. Try to refine and focus what it is that you are arguing. A very specific thesis statement limits the things that you have to try to prove in your paper. And the ideal thesis statement is something where you have, this is the explanation that makes the most sense because of A, B, and C. And that A, B, and C are therefore then become the sections to your paper. And you've provided yourself essentially a blueprint for what you need to do when writing the paper itself. So, proposal, a simple one-page, single paragraph that gives the topic, the question, the possible sides, and most importantly, a thesis statement. And then I'll respond to this with feedback about the scope, the viability of what it is that you're proposing, and then some possibilities for evidence. I'm not going to hold you to your proposal. A proposal is not a contract that says, this is the paper I'm going to write. What often happens is as people are doing research and finding out more about a topic that they're interested in, their perspective becomes more refined, and sometimes it even reverses, and you come to an opposing conclusion. That's fine. That happens often. And so don't worry about being held to the argument that you make in your proposal. What I do ask is that if you decide that this topic isn't working and you need to write about a different topic, that you give me a new proposal so that I can give you feedback on it. Proposal, very important stage. Do not skip this, because this is very useful for you in terms of delineating and making concrete what it is that you have to do in your paper, and also for me to provide you with any feedback I can in terms of the structure, scope, and evidence that you'll need. Any questions about this, please, by all means, I wanted to discuss with each and every one of you what it is that you want to do for your paper. So send me an email, come talk to me with what it is that you think might work, concerns that you might have. Is this going to be an angle that will help on this particular aspect? Should I make this a section? Come and talk to me about any of these things before you write the proposal, after you write the proposal, and we'll work through the process of making this position paper together.